last time on The Curse of Strahd. Last time you guys did a pretty good recap. You were able to get to the town. You stayed at the Blue Water Inn, and you met Erwin and his wife, who is the tavern keeper. And he's a handsome middle-aged fellow. And he asked you guys if you could check on a shipment of wine for him, because it was supposed to be delivered a couple weeks ago and it hasn't come. And he also informed you that the person that you would be maybe coming into contact with, and the reason maybe he didn't want to go, is because his dad is the owner of the winery, and there seems to be a little bit of beef between the two of them. Not sure what it is, but he seemed a little bit hostile towards his father. You guys stayed at the Blue Water Inn with Ismark and Irina. You guys got a knock on the door. You were told that the burgomaster wanted to see you. You went and met the burgomaster, and his wife gave you a tour of their mansion. You were given a tour, and you saw a few things that sort of piqued your attention. Definitely that mirror in her bridal room piqued your attention. Kane was able to sense that there was something a little bit magical about that mirror. Doesn't know what's up with it. But you told her that it was magical, and she said she would have someone look at it. She walked you past a bunch of like locked rooms in the house. She also broke down her walls for a minute. You guys saw a little bit of somberness come through.
Cracks in the armor.
Yeah, saw a few cracks in the armor there.
Somber in Barovia. What else is new?
Yeah. And on your way out of the house, oh, also, don't forget, the burgomaster has invited you to be his special guest at the Festival of the Blazing Sun, which they're collecting twigs for, apparently. It looks like they're making a giant sun out of twigs, presumably to light it on fire at the festival. That seems like the obvious thing.
It also sounds slightly fascist, like everyone in the town has to go.
Oh yes, this is also true. Everyone in the town is required to go, and all will be well. And you guys left, and as you were leaving, you saw a sort of a sort of angry-looking fellow who was coming towards the house, and he had a really gigantic, warped, almost flesh-crafted looking arm.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Flesh crafted?
that's a little reference for my WoW people up in here. Yeah.
Oh, I was like, I'm flesh crafted.
Yeah, it's a little inhuman. So that was a little weird. And he was heading into the house as you guys were heading out. And that's kind of where you guys wound up yesterday. So I will get us going for today. So as you guys are leaving the house and you see the gentleman going in and walking past you, you guys are walking on the road, and as you walk down the streets of Vallaki, I'm going to have Syndra roll a knowledge check. I want to say knowledge. I don't know if knowledge is exactly right, but I'm going to say knowledge.
Like intelligence, or?
It's like memory, like to remember or recall something.
What should we roll?
Perception.
Oh, knowledge is a general can't. Knowledge isn't a can't.
No.
I keep doing that.
Like
I want to say maybe like insight.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like it's like putting 1 and 2 together based off of a memory. What might that be? You guys can help me with it.
Insight works.
What are you trying to do?
She's trying to get me to remember something.
That would be knowledge. Yeah.
Well, there's no knowledge category.
Well, hold on a second. Let me
Nate
look.
and I keep wanting to say knowledge because that's what we like. We roll knowledge checks in our Pathfinder.
Let me look at.
Can
the
you just
skill.
do a wisdom check?
No, it's different.
I think insight makes sense.
Insight?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with insight. I think it's okay.
Insight.
Doing it. 13.
13 total.
Lucky number
Yeah.
13.
Okay. You see a sign posted outside of a large, medium to large-ish building, definitely bigger than a house. And the sign reads Blinsky's. And you recall seeing this word on the toy that you took from Mad Mary.
Huh?
Interesting.
Yeah. And if you were to pull the toy out, assuming that you actually are still holding on to it, I think you are.
Yeah, I would.
The toy's tag reads, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You see a shop sign that says Blinsky's. And you can't really tell what it is, but you see a big sign. So it's there.
Okay. Cool. I would be like, hey guys, that name matches the tag on this little missing girl's doll. I think we should go check it out.
Hey.
Like right now. Let's go right now.
Slow down, Sindra. They have a bit of a list to go over. And yeah, I almost threw Drexar in there instead of
It happens. You guys want to stop or not really?
Ramis will walk towards Blinsky's.
Casual investigation of the exterior of the building.
Casual investigation of the exterior.
Real discreet.
Maybe Sindra can case the joint.
Definitely not casing the joint.
Do you want me to do a perception check on the place, guys? Or Nate, are you going to investigate?
I say let's keep a low profile. This seems like a job for Sindra.
Okay.
Low profile, yeah. Very
Want
scary.
me to cause a distraction?
Toy shop.
So if I wanted to stealthily investigate this building, should I like roll for stealth and then roll for investigate, or one or the other?
You would roll stealth, yeah, and then investigate. So stealth to stay hidden, investigation to find things.
Okay. So stealth first. 13 for stealth.
Okay.
And 18 for investigation.
Ooh.
Okay. So as you sort of look around the building, you find it looks like a shop.
Okay.
And it has a very dark entrance portico. And there's a sign hanging above. It's a wooden sign. And the sign is actually shaped like a rocking horse. And it's got a bee engraved on both sides. And it says Blinsky's. And flanking the entrance, there are two arched lead framed windows. And there's some dirty glass. And if you peer through the dirty glass, you can see jumbled displays of toys. And hanging placards that bear the slogan, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
Okay.
Is it?
How very Polish.
Is it like dirty windows because of like cobwebs and stuff, or is it just like gross? Is it like old gross or gross?
It's like not taken care of super well. Gross. It's not really gross. They're just a bit dirty.
That's no.
Does it look like it's taken care of at all? Like somebody's been in there, or somebody is in there right now? Or
Yeah, the inside definitely looks like, you know, the toys don't look dirty to you, just the windows.
Okay. Do I see anything suspicious, or just pile of toys? Lots of signs with that phrase on it.
No, you just see the signs with the slogans. If you kind of peer inside, you don't see anyone inside, as far as you can tell. It looks empty.
Okay. Is it cool with you guys if I go inside? Like, I don't see anything suspicious right this
Yeah.
second, so it's probably not
we can
super
all go
urgent.
in. We can all go in. Some
Yeah.
reason.
What harm could come from a toy store? Let's find you a treat.
All right, then. Guess we go inside.
Yeah. All right. So you guys enter into the building, and it opens up into a very medium to large sized toy shop. And the shelves are filled with little odds and ends. There's all sorts of eerie playthings.
Eerie.
Yeah, a lot of them are pretty eerie looking. Yeah. So if you guys observe some of the toys on the shelves, you can see there is a doll sitting on the shelf, and she's headless. She doesn't have a head. And then next to her, there's all of these different little detachable and attachable heads, including some of them with the eyes and mouth stitched shut. And there's a price, 9 copper pieces for the doll with the detachable heads. You also find a little tiny miniature gallows, complete with a trapdoor and a weighted hangman.
How much is that?
Also 9 copper pieces.
That's pretty cool.
You find
Is
a
there any
set
tax?
of wooden nesting dolls, and the smaller each one gets, the older it gets. And if you pull them apart, you find that the most innermost one is actually a mummified corpse.
Benjamin Button. That's
Ugh.
nice.
This is the coolest shop I've ever not been in.
Would you like to look at some other toys, or do you want to look around?
I just want to figure out how much money I have so I can bring home something creepy. Oh my
And as you guys are looking through a back door, appears a man. He is a stout man, a little bit overweight and heavy set, if you will. And he's wearing a jester's cap that has taken some moth abuse. And he comes out, and on his shoulder there is a little monkey, live monkey, not a toy monkey, a real monkey. And he is hanging out with the monkey, and he comes outside and he greets you, and he says, "Welcome, friends, to the house of Blinsky, where happiness and smiles can be bought at a bargain prices. Perhaps you know a little child in need of joy? A little toy for a little girl or boy?"
Oh, this is my favorite thing that we've done so far. Oh my gosh. Okay. I guess I'd jump in and be like, hey, so funny, weird story. We're actually looking for this little girl, and she has a doll from here. And I would pull it out and I would show it to him. I'd be like, is there anything you can tell me about the doll itself? This was her most treasured possession.
He picks it up from you, and he looks at it, and he says, "Yeah, I remember this toy." He says, "A young girl from Barovia." And he says, "I do not remember what happened to her. It was very long ago." He says, "Is she okay?"
Unfortunately, she's still missing. Do you remember how long ago it was that she had been missing, or that she had gotten this doll?
He says, "Probably 30 years.
God damn it, Mary.
Gotta
Okay.
get good fucking memory.
Wow.
Wow.
He like eerily recalls like every toy he's ever sold.
Is he
What's
like
his name again? Is it? Yeah. Damn it! I was just gonna say that.
His you haven't asked him his name.
Gonna rhyme.
I'd take half a guess that his last name is Blinsky.
Your half
What's his
guess.
first name? No fun.
Okay. 30 years.
And I will have the entire party roll a perception check.
Oh,
Ooh, okay.
well.
18.
12.
1.
Okay, so no
You knock
one
over a
but
pile of
Kane-
toys.
I'm just looking at my feet.
notices, as Blinsky is speaking with you, Kane notices in the corner of his peripheral, he sees something that looks oddly familiar, and it's a doll, and it urges you to want to move closer to it.
I casually peruse in that general direction.
And as Kane begins to move in the direction of the familiar looking doll, he notices the features of the doll bear a striking resemblance to Irina.
What? All right, that's weird.
Ooh!
Ask how much it is.
Is it also 9 copper pieces?
It does not have a price tag.
Excuse me. So, did we get his name yet?
Not unless you ask for it.
Okay.
Come on, sir.
This is quite
Doesn't
a
have a name
fine
tag?
establishment. Do you mind if I ask your name?
He says, "My name is Gadolf Blinsky."
Ah, Gadolf. It's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
He says, "And yours, good sir."
I must say, you have many wonderful toys here. He says as he looks around and he notices like the headless doll and stuff.
He says, "I think that making everyone happy in town is the way to do my part."
Yes, of course. What say you is the inspiration for your dolls?
Are you like pointing to that one specifically?
No, not necessarily. I'm just asking generally. I'll narrow
Um,
things down if I need to.
He says, "I love to make the children in Barovia have many fun toys." He says, he says, "I come up with these creations many times while I'm dreaming."
Wow, you're dreaming, you say. Interesting.
And he looks at the one that you were checking out, the Irina doll.
Oh, he's on to
Nice.
me.
What's that?
He's on to me.
He's gonna
Subtle.
increase the price.
Subtle.
He is on to you. And he says, "But not that one." He says, "Isaac comes here and he wants me to make dolls that look like this."
Isaac,
He
that
says-
sounds familiar.
He says, "He gives me a description of a girl, and I try to make doll that looks like this girl, but he keeps coming back and says, not good enough."
Ah, so a bit of a special commission then.
He says, "Yes."
How many of these have you made?
He looks down and he like looks at his hand and he starts to like count his fingers. He says,
Uh,
"Maybe 20.
20. Do you know why Isaac asks for these?
He says, "No."
I feel like I've heard this name before.
Yeah, who is Isaac?
I don't know. Ivan is the innkeeper owner, but I don't remember an Isaac.
We should ask about Isaac.
You have heard this name before,
Mhm.
and I will allow memory checks.
Okay.
Is there
Can I just do an intelligence
like a
check?
memory?
No.
Knowledge history. History.
History.
It happened in the past.
Fine, history. Okay, fine.
Oh, but I suck at history.
Need it
Oh, I
chronological?
just rolled an 18. That's a
I just rolled
22.
a natural one.
Ooh.
Nat 21. Well done over there.
I'm gonna
Ryan.
write off.
I want
Nate's
your dice.
success.
And I have a 19 as well.
I have a 22.
Okay, DC 12.
Wow. We're not smart enough, or we're too smart.
So you remember the burgomaster telling you that like his main side man, like his like not servant, but like his main like
His
Number two?
his
his
brute
main guard,
force?
like the
His
main guard
Riker?
of the town, like kind of the main guard guy. His name was Isaac.
Oh, wait. Is that the guy who we saw going back to the house that has the flesh arm or whatever?
You don't know.
Oh man, I don't like this. Flesh arm guy's trying to make dolls out of the woman who Strahd's after, and this guy's
Man.
having dreams about her.
No, he said that was the only doll that he didn't have dreams about. It was a
Oh,
special
that he
commission.
didn't have. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's told you that this is a special commission from someone who gave him a description.
Okay. Interesting. And do you have any idea why Isaac has asked you to make these?
He says, no. He says, many times lately, I have felt despair. Nobody seems to like my toys. He says, but Isaac keeps coming and wants this doll, and I'm happy to make it.
Interesting. How much would it cost to make one of these dolls?
He says, I charge 9 copper pieces.
9, you say? Well, that seems rather fair. Would you by any chance make one for us?
He says, yes.
I would like that. Now, I happen to know someone who looks very similar to this. Is there a chance you could make an extremely accurate version if I were to bring this person to you?
He says, I did not know this was a real person. He
It
says,
is.
I can do much better if you bring her here.
It's just a thought.
Really quick, do we want him to know exactly what she looks like? Because we don't really know Isaac's like reasoning behind creating this doll that looks like her.
That's a good
My
point.
reasoning is to have a quote unquote perfect doll to use
As
as leverage if we ever need it against him.
when we find him.
He sounds like he's trouble and I want leverage. Kane is
Yeah.
chaotic neutral, all right?
Yeah, but what's to stop Belinsky from making 2?
Well, I don't really know, but this would at least
We-
give us a little bit of power, and we can keep watch over this whole situation.
How often does the Isaac guy come in though? If he comes in like once a month, we have.
We didn't
some
ask him
time.
that.
Ask him that.
Ask him that.
Metagaming. Say, how often does this Isaac gentleman come into the store?
Roll me perception.
Ooh, I got that.
Ooh, all of us
How
are just
does he-
I'll take it from everyone is actually okay.
5.
That's 2 natural ones in a row. What the fuck?
19.
Is
23.
It's not important.
Oh no.
You're getting all the bad rolls out on the things that aren't super important. You can tell. Okay, so firstly, this guy Blinsky, he seems like, from what you can tell so far, relatively harmless. He seems pretty nice. He's starting to get a little wary about answering all these questions about one of his customers and like one of his good customers.
Mhm.
He says, can I interest you in any other toys that I have? And he points to a wood and string mobile of hanging bats with flapping wings.
That's creepy.
That legit sounds adorable.
Did we notice any children in the
There are
streets
no
as we're coming through? There are no children anywhere.
There's no people in this shop at all, except for Gadolf and his monkey.
I would jump in and be like,
Not
Gadolf, I am a huge fan of yours. Can you tell me more about this miniature set of the gallows?
He picks it up. He walks over to the miniature gallows and he picks it up and he like pulls the little weighted hangman and like lets it loose and the guy like hangs himself and he's like all excited about it. He's like, it's so cool, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is fully
Yeah,
functional.
just how I am now. I'd be like, oh my God, that's so cool. I love it.
Creepy.
Gadolf, what is the nature of your dreams? Are these nightmares?
What, did you say my name?
No, Gadolf.
Or are you talking to him?
Looking at him as he's excitedly showing you these disgusting things.
Gadolf says, not so much nightmares, just general happenings of Barovia.
So these are historical events then?
He says some of them are based off things that are real. For example, these gallows are real. And you recall that you saw those gallows.
Nice.
Of course.
When you were heading to the
Oh, they were at the
Vistani
crossroads?
encampment. Mm-hmm.
And
Can I ask him about the nesting dolls that we saw?
No, I'm not done. Sorry, Sidra. And I think Ramis wants to know the story. Like, what is the story of these gallows?
He says, there is no stories where people were hanged and are hanged.
That's quite a nice subject for a toy, I must say.
Yes, Gadolf, perhaps if you did not remind your customers so much of the world they inhabit, but more the imagination of the world that could be, say in your dreams that were not so reflective of Barovia itself. For example, what if you made a statue of someone like me?
Kane rolls his eyes.
No, don't.
Gadolf looks at Ramis and
Ramis kind of brushes his hair back.
He is quite golden.
Gadolf looks at Ramis and he says, you want commission me make statue of you?
Yes, make one for me, but maybe make an extra and see if it sells.
He says, I do not have time to make extra toys.
Gadolf, it sounds like you have plenty of time, my friend.
He's very busy making his eerie things.
Gadolf, you yourself have said that your toys have not been selling very well lately, have you not?
He walks over to another toy and he cranks this little like, you guys know what I'm talking, the little windy part. He like winds up this little toy and he lets it go, and this small musical merry-go-round starts to play music and figures start to go around the merry-go-round, and there's 3 figures of snarling wolves that are chasing children in place of prancing horses. And he says, who would not want this? Like, he does not understand that this is a creepy toy. He thinks it's fantastical.
Oh man. I would ask about the creepy Russian nesting dolls and be like, what was your inspiration for this? Have you seen a creature that does this kind of transformation before?
He says, I do not know of any creature, but I thought of the idea of old Russian nesting doll. And
Who are
As-
Russians?
Right.
What is Russia?
oh yeah, it's true.
Going
Russia's
somewhere
not a
bad.
place. What would you call this?
Barovian
Nesting dolls.
Nesting dolls.
Old nesting dolls. Yeah, what would they be called in this world? Just nesting
Barovian nesting dolls.
Yes.
By the Barovian czars.
dolls. And he says, and I think the concept of literal old nesting doll. And he like nods and smiles at you guys.
I'm gonna be like, love it, love it. Yeah.
Adolf, do you drink ale or wine by any chance?
He says, of course, we all do. It is what keeps us away from the darkest times.
Yes, of course. Perhaps, Ramis, with your blessing, we could have a bit of a joyous evening back at the tavern before we retire. You could regale Gadolf here with some wonderful stories that perhaps may inspire him to create something a little more, I don't know, pleasant.
Yes. Gadolf, these stories could lead to the sweetest dreams of your life, in fact.
And so sorry. Gadolf picks up a dummy from the shelf that is in the likeness of Strahd, from what you can tell.
Oh God.
And he puts his hand up the spine, and he does his best form of ventriloquism, and he says, "That would be lovely."
Yes, quite charming. And Kane looks over at Ramis. You have your work cut out for you.
Oh my gosh.
And Gadolf says, "Can I be helping you with anything else today? I would love to meet you at the Blue Water Inn later."
Yes, I say tonight we go ahead with our plans. Perhaps we can introduce you to the young lady as well.
He says, "I would very much like to meet a young lady who is inspiration for many dolls I have made."
Well, then, Gadolf, I believe that takes care of all of our business for now. We shall see you there tonight.
Gadolf says, "We'll see you later."
All right, let's head out. And what time is it?
You guys not want to buy any toys?
I kind of do, but I can't find where my money is.
It's okay. You can always come back.
Okay, I'm doing it. Can I?
Yeah. As we're exiting, Ramis turns to the party and says, speaking of wine, should we not try to figure out this trade loop that we have heard has been disrupted?
Yes, we shall.
I just send you guys a picture of Gadolf.
I am interested now in finding out what Isaac's purpose is. I am concerned for Irina.
Perhaps, though she is safe here, is she not?
What? I didn't hear you, dude.
Ramis said she's safe here, no? That's why we brought her here.
You guys always can take Irina with you, but she is probably safer in the town.
Probably. Yeah, that's my thoughts. What time is it?
Isn't it like morning?
Yeah, so you guys went to the burgomaster's mansion like pretty much in the morning, because they came and knocked on your doors pretty early, so it's probably not past noon.
Yeah, we should try to I mean, how far was the trip out to the Wizard Winery or whatever it was called?
It's less than a day out there.
Okay, so we hypothetically then we should be able to go there and come back before nightfall, right?
It would be tight. You also don't totally know. But Erwin told you it's like 5 or 6 miles. So it's like not that far.
Oh, we could definitely do that in a day and come back.
Well, you could. He runs.
I don't mind standing up, Blinsky. If we have to, we can come back.
You guys
It's
can always meet with
isn't
him
there-
another night too. Yeah.
Isn't there a cart that they use to do the deliveries that we could take? could
Yes,
convince,
but that's not at the Blue Water Inn. Presumably, the shipment has not arrived, meaning that cart is either in transit or it's at.
Yeah, he was like waiting for the cart.
Right, he's waiting for a shipment, hasn't arrived, and he hasn't gone to check on it. So he's tasked you with going to check on what's happening with the shipment.
Well, we can maybe do some casual investigation on this Isaac guy without getting ourselves in trouble. Figure out what his deal is, and then we will know kind of more what to do with Gadov tonight. And then maybe have a fresh day tomorrow to do this wizard winery place. What is the name of that? I'm going to keep calling it that until I remember what the real name is.
Did Erwin tell you?
He told us the name of the shop.
Yes, he did. He called it the Wizard of Wines.
Wizard of Wines. Okay.
Have we left the toy store?
Yes.
Only if you've decided to.
I guess like one last thing for me to ask Gadolf, like as he's exiting, he turns to Gadolf and says, I believe we have heard of Isaac. Can you tell us about this man?
Balenci says, Isaac is the what is the right word? I'm trying to figure it out. He's the right-hand man of the Burgomaster.
He's the guns.
He helps to keep the peace. He helps to enforce the rules. And the Burgomaster trusts him.
The deputy?
And
He's kind of almost like a deputy, yeah.
and what do you think of
I think
Isaac?
a better term would be henchman.
Well, that's different than like a guard.
He's the head goon.
So Ramirez asked him what he thinks of Isaac. What does Gadolf think of Isaac?
Good question.
Perception.
Okay. Natural one.
No.
You can do it. You can
No.
do it.
What the fuck?
It's a 2.
I mean, that's a 100% upgrade.
100% better. So Gadolf tells you he helps keep business going.
Can I roll insight and see if he's lying?
Yes.
Oh, not 20.
Ooh.
This fucking guy and his golden dice.
It's just the app and the computer, bro.
I didn't like this.
Oh, damn, there's a picture of this guy.
He's not lying, but there's like a little bit of fear.
I think Ramis will resort to persuasion. Ramis is not satisfied with his like kind of avoiding answer and says, Gadolf, we are travelers seeking to help the folks of Barovia. Can you tell me more about Isaac, please?
Gadolf says, I really don't know much besides he wants me to make doll. He says, Isaac is a little intimidating.
How do you mean?
He says, well, he persuasion check.
What the fuck?
Roll again. This is unfair. This is like not okay. He rolled a 2 again.
Wow.
Okay.
Gosh.
No, I rolled a 4.
That's just not okay. You rolled a 14.
No, I rolled a 4
What?
for a total of 11.
Oh my god. His rolls are so bad.
Play it out. We'll help if we
I
need
need a
to.
physical die.
Hey,
This is
hey,
fucking me up.
okay, all right, here. Yeah, fuck that. You use this.
Nate, are you using the D&D Beyond
Just
roller?
yeah,
I
just
am.
sort of picture of it.
Fuck!
It's been working great for me, bro.
All right, that's a 14.
Okay. I Gadolf, his voice lowers a little bit, and he says, Isaac does not pay for all dolls.
Good.
He says he threatens to burn down Blinsky's shop if I don't give new toys.
What happens to the old dolls after he rejects them?
He says he takes all dolls. He just also wants new dolls.
Creepy.
Maybe he's just using the not good enough as a pretense for him to keep making dolls, probably.
Did
Yeah,
he not
dolls.
want the doll that's in the shop?
It's not finished.
When was the last time Isaac came through the shop?
He says close to a month ago now. Probably be coming by soon.
I guess Ramis will reach into his coin purse and pay Gadolf for the price of two dolls and say, I'm sorry he is troubling you, but you should consider my marketing advice.
Gadolf says, I would like to listen more to what you have to say. You seem very
Rich.
fun.
Oh, I am. And I pat him on the shoulder.
Gadolf, I think we should, you said he had taken 20 or so dolls from you.
He nods.
Kane hands him another couple silver and says,
Yes, that is not right. But I must ask you, promise us, do not tell Isaac if you see him of our interest in making a doll of our own.
Blinsky's eyes like widen as he like looks in his hands at the money you just gave him. He's like, no, I cannot take this.
You have rightfully performed this work. I see no reason for you to not be paid.
And he reaches on the shelf and grabs the nesting dolls and like hands it to Sindri, and he says, please, take toy, please.
I would try to politely be like, no, this is your work. I can't take this from you.
And he says,
And then
please,
take it.
no, I cannot take money without work.
If you insist, I will treasure it as a future heirloom for my future children for generations to come.
what is
And
your
I'm tucking
alignment?
it in my bag.
You have
What is your
Alignment.
alignment?
small
Toy
wooden
collector.
nesting dolls with a tiny mummified corpse in the middle.
Yay! The epicenter of us all.
Sweet.
Well, right then. So be sure not to allow Isaac to know of what we're doing. Do not allow him a doll that matches Arena perfectly, just to be careful.
Blinsky nods and he says, I will do what I can.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we can
He nods in understanding.
take our leave. Oh, by the way, Gadolf, we may have an errand to run. If you do not see us at the tavern tonight, know that we will be back tomorrow evening.
Gadolf says, well, I will see you one night or another night.
Excellent.
He says, good travels, fellow adventurers.
Fellow adventurers.
I would like to give his monkey a little pat on the head as we
Blinsky totally considers himself an adventurer. Yeah, he thinks he's like super cool.
Something
Surfing
tells
the
me
high
he would
seas,
not.
the nightmare realms.
Something tells me he would
Did
not.
you say
fare
you were
well
gonna
against
pat the
werewolf.
monkey?
Uh-huh. Pat the monkey
Interesting.
goodbye on the
You
head.
can pat the monkey goodbye.
Pat the
Boop, boop.
monkey. Pat the
Also,
monkey
the
goodbye.
monkey is wearing a vest and a hat.
Of course he is.
Wow.
Not in
kind
the
of hat?
picture.
Not in that picture. That's just one picture, okay?
Does the monkey have a matching hat?
It's a red and purple patchwork vest and a matching purple hat.
Solid. Really, really good choices for attire.
Almost looks like a carnival monkey.
Yeah, I know. I got it.
All right. You guys want to head out of the toy shop?
Yeah. Yeah. let's
Yeah.
check it out.
Okay. Yeah, where would you guys like to head off to now? You have a few things that you kind of have that you could do.
Quest.
Yeah, I mean, the quest that's most readily available to you might be heading to check out the winery.
Yeah, we can do that. We already told
Okay.
Gadoff that we'd perhaps not be back tonight if something goes down.
And we could also potentially learn more things about Isaac when I go to get some tea from the Mistress Burger Meister, whatever that is.
Mistress Burger Master.
Miss Burger.
correct.
Mistress Burger Master.
Burger.
Okay.
The Mistress.
We can
Burger.
also leave Zug in a barrel outside a toy shop and wait for Isaac to come back while we go take care of the
Pop out. I'll grab it.
I will also remind you that the Festival of the Blazing Sun is happening in a few days, and
Mhm.
everyone is required to go.
Not if we skip town. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Before they put us in their wicker sun and burn us alive.
Exactly.
What I'm trying to say is that Isaac might be present there.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not that they're gonna burn you, although that might also happen. You don't.
You could.
This is
Yeah.
some Majora's Mask shit. We got to get out of town before this happens.
That's a great game.
Maybe he's gonna burn all of
That's
the
lit.
dolls in the wicker sun to do some kind of ritual.
Wow, you don't watch enough Supernatural, clearly.
I watch all of the Supernatural.
Anyways. Hello. Welcome back, people.
Remise turned to Zug. Zug, what say we solved the great wine mystery, my friend. I could use a drink. It's like
I could always use drink. Please,
Let's go, Zug.
let's go. I'll lead the way.
Does Zug know the way?
No.
That for sure knows the way.
If we categorized everything Zug ever said into like subject, it would be fighting. No, it would be wine, food, and fighting.
Yeah.
Possibly
That's
food, wine, and
very
fighting.
Zug.
in
He's
that
a
order.
very
Just like real life.
typecast character. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think this character was going to work out super well, but it's working out.
You always need one.
Until he dies.
Mhm.
Yeah, he might die. We all might die, to be fair, though.
From wine poisoning.
Mm.
Soon. There are other ways the wine won't make it to the inn.
Zug finds the shipment. Zug finishes the wine. All right. So if you guys want to head towards, Erwin did point you, or at least give you a description of the direction in which the Wizard of Wines is located. It is west of Vallaki. And there is only one road leading out of Vallaki, so it is not that difficult to find. So you guys want to head out? Do you want to collect Ismark?
Oh yeah, yeah. We should take Ismark.
You also can leave him here with his sister.
Why do we need him?
We should take them both.
Wouldn't that be getting her out of the city though?
Well, I don't know. Apparently Strahd can just walk right on in to wherever the hell he wants, charm his way through. I don't know if she's safer by herself or not.
But apparently that's not true here. We should leave her with Ismark.
The
I think-
walls of Vallaki are fortified and is much better guarded than Barovia. That is why Ismark wanted to bring her here.
All right, fair enough.
Also, Ismark sucks, so we don't need him.
Hey, Strahd's henchmen and wolves and whatnot would have a much harder time getting into, from what you can see from the fortifications, would have a much more difficult time getting into Vallaki than Barovia. Barovia was not guarded at all.
Unless Isaac is
Sure.
a spy.
I'm sure there's plenty of spies in Barovia. Let's be honest.
Type. Well, then she's fucked no matter where we go.
Yeah, let's head out.
All right, heading out on the old symbolic road that passes straight through Vallaki. All right, so as you guys head out of the town, make your way out. You pass by various buildings and whatnot, and okay, you guys head out the old symbolic road. So as you are heading down the old Svalek Road, you come into contact with a stone bridge that is going over a running river, which you can only assume is a river runoff coming from Lake Zarovich from the north, because it is a north-south running river. A short time after that, you run into a crossroads. And it's a full-on crossroads, a four-way crossroads. And in the crossroads, hold on, we're finding all of our things. I have most of my resources open, but not all of them. You find, here we go. Why is this so difficult? It is an X intersection. And it branches to the northwest, northeast, southwest, and southeast. The lower half of a snapped wooden signpost thrusts upward an angle near the eastern elbow of the intersection. And the top half of the sign features arms pointing in 4 different directions. And it is lying in weeds nearby. So the sign that is normally posted with the directions is snapped off and hanging out in the weeds.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, you're not entirely sure which way to go.
Wait, could we not?
Can we fish it out?
You
Is
could
the-
totally fish it out, and you could
Let's-
probably pretty easily figure out how it's supposed to connect.
Yeah, let's do that.
To reassemble the sign.
Yeah. All right. So you pick up the sign, and Ramis, without any sort of check, very easily can figure out how the top half of the signpost and the lower half connect. And when the 2 parts of the signs get aligned and rejoined, the arms indicate that Krezk and Solenka Pass are to the southwest.
Oh.
That Lake Baratok is to the northwest, and that Vallaki and Ravenloft are to the northeast. And that Berez is to the southeast, which I know is a lot of instructions.
I really wish I had a map. I'm mentally
Wouldn't it
trying
be
to.
so nice to have a map.
There was a map.
So you are heading towards. You want to go not to Berez, but you would like to proceed towards Krez.
Obviously.
Okay,
That- I mean-
southwest.
Sure, yeah. Krez.
You want to be heading southwest, yeah. So you want to keep going west, and really the only way that continues to go super west is the southwestern road.
We're taking it.
Yeah, and this continues on the old Svalek road. So this is like the continuation, essentially. You're just going straight. The road is about level, and you cross the river, and the the road continues to wend gently downward as it follows the river kind of into the through the valley a little bit. And you guys continue on. My map keeps doing that. Oh, it's because I did. Okay, never mind. It's my fault. As you guys continue through the wooded path, it's a very, very densely wooded path. There's forest on both sides of you. You come to some more crossroads, some more divergences. And if you read some of the signposts, they sort of give you some general things. As you continue forward, the road branches off to the south of where, so you're traveling southwest, and the road kind of goes between south and west and south and west. And as the road continues west, there's a branch that sort of guts out to your left, which would be south-ish, even more south. And there is a small, like a stone or a marbled looking statue cut out of gray stone. And it is of a ruined dragon.
Wow.
A ruined dragon?
Mm-hmm. So it's like been chipped away a little bit. It's definitely not in top-notch condition, but you can tell that it is a figure of a dragon.
And that is that pointing at something, or is it just
Nope,
hanging
it's
out?
just hanging out in the crossroad.
Can we tell what kind of dragon it is?
What kind of dragon?
Yeah.
Do we know anything about dragons?
No,
I think we would.
you guys are really low adventurers.
Yeah, but
You
dragons
know
are
that
famous
much.
in lore. I'm a lore bard.
That's true. You would maybe know something about the bar.
I feel like I know about
And
chromatic.
I'm a
Okay.
wizard.
The statue is like not in great shape, so the figure looks dragon like, but is not like super detailed.
It's been eating too much pizza.
It's a pizza
Josh.
dragon.
Are you awake over there, Josh?
Yeah.
Your eyes were closed for a little while there.
I'm just listening.
And
I mean, Ramis would like to inspect the statue.
Yeah. We should do a quick investigation of this.
Yeah.
You know, a little different.
yeah, so as you come up and approach and look at the statue, it looks really old. Like
Like-
it has been here for a very long time.
Older than like all the towns you've been to.
Yes. It looks super old.
Can we tell if it was recently broken?
No, it kind of looks like time has just worn away at it.
Okay.
This dragon is ancient. I do not know what type of dragon it is.
Did our investigation come up with anything, or does it just seem like an old statue?
It is an old dragon statuine.
I can surmise nothing more.
Nor can I. Well then, shall we continue?
I'm gonna poke it with my axe and say me too.
Got him.
All right. And
Oh, why'd you have to poke it? She's rolling dice now.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
It's a white marble dragon.
It's a decrepit pizza dragon. Level 25.
all right, you guys are going to continue on the road. I'm guessing you're not going to take that side road because that is not the way that you are supposed to go. And as you continue on the old Spalak Road, the next stretch of the Spalak Road has multiple branches. One of them heads north. One branch heads south.
Do they say anything? Are there signposts?
A couple of them have signposts. Some of them do not. The one that heads north does not have a signpost. The one that heads south says Salinka Pass.
Okay.
Okay. That's
And
like,
there is a third branch. And as you approach the third branch, you see a weather-worn signpost next to the road. And there are 3 arms of the path that are of the sign pointing along 3 different branches of the road. One of them points north and reads Kresk. And through the woods, you can see an arching stone bridge that spans a river. There's an arm that points east, which is where you came from, and it reads Valaki. And the road slopes gradually up in that direction where you came down. And there's an arm that points southwest, and it reads the Wizard of Wines.
It appears as though we have found our destination.
Yeah.
So if you guys would like to head to the southeast towards the Wizard of Wines.
I'm gonna say Kane is also taking like note on some parchment of kind of the path they've taken so far.
Yeah.
Like his own map.
I assume you guys are probably pretty good carpenters, so I will draw out some more of the map for you guys after the sesh today.
You're not going to make us roll cartography?
No. No. That sounds horrible for everyone involved. All right. So as you guys head down that particular road, after about a half a mile, the road becomes a muddy trail that meanders through the woods. And it descends gradually until the trees part, revealing a mist-shrouded meadow. The trail then splits. One trail heads towards the west into the valley, and the other leads south into dark woods. There's a wooden signpost at the intersection points, and to the west reads Vineyard.
Is there any other sign?
Nope.
Well,
I say we should go to the woods first.
You want to go to the dark woods?
Yeah. I mean, it's what, like afternoon right now?
I mean, it's pretty misty. It is, in fact, not always sunny in Barovia.
Oh,
Oh, my sticker lied.
Ace.
You got a friend?
Kane is going to continue walking in the direction of the vineyard as though that is the obvious choice.
I'm just gonna stand there and watch everybody walk by.
Wait, but just like quick meta question. We're not under any impression that the father's joint isn't a vineyard. Like it's not like a winery and a vineyard. It's not like a trading post that sells wine.
Well, that's what I was kind of wondering. It's like you have the vineyard and you probably have like a bottle.
Exactly. Like could it be a separate place as the Wizard of Wine?
You don't have that particular information, but if you head down the path, even a short way, you can not only see all of the vineyards, but you can see a giant estate in the middle of the vineyards.
Okay.
Yeah, it does not take you much to see that. Like you could probably head down the path like 15 feet to see that.
Okay.
Let's go that way.
Let's go that way. I'll lead the way.
Yeah. And as you head towards the vineyard, a light drizzle begins to fall. And there's some unpainted fences that blindly follow the trail, which skirts north of a spawning vineyard before bending south towards a stately building. The fog is swirling around a little bit more ghostly than usual. And it is sort of doing a delicate dance between the rows of grapevines. And here and there, you see some rope-handled half barrels used for hauling grapes. And north of the trail, there's a large stand of trees. So the estate is kind of like this clearing with a bunch of vineyards around it. And then around the vineyards, there's a little more clearing. And then there's kind of some densely packed forest, as to be expected. And north of the trail where there's a big stand of trees, there's a man wearing a dark cloak and a cowl standing at the edge of the trees, and he beckons you towards him.
Seems perfectly normal.
Yeah, let's walk up to him.
Yeah.
You walk up to the hooded figure.
I mean,
He's beckoning us.
Code. It's drizzling.
There's a raincoat.
How far away is he? Like on the way, could I do like a perception check to see if there's like any people around or like any lights
Traps.
on in buildings?
Yeah, so you can do a perception check to sort of see what you can sense about what the situation is right now.
Okay. 14.
You don't sense any other people around with 14.
Okay.
But you can tell that something is like ominous and off with the winery. It doesn't feel like everything is going like as usual.
Should
But
be
you don't have
farmhands.
a lot of information. You're not a winery expert either. hmm
How far off is this beckoning figure?
He's probably like 80 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe less. He's not super far. You guys gonna head towards the man?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sure.
So as you head towards the cloaked figure, 8 other people emerge out of the trees. And they seem friendly and they come to greet you.
Okay.
They are
Aren't-
all wearing dark leather rain cloaks and cowls.
Aren't the trees like super far away though?
All of the trees are like densely packed, so they start to sort of come out from the trees to greet you. So as you walk up to the group now of people, they basically tell you that the vineyard, walk up to the hooded guy, and he sort of pulls his cowl down, and he says to you, "Greetings." He says, "Where do you hail from?"
Where do we hail from?
Russia.
I don't think we ever really dove too deeply into our backstories enough
Yeah.
to.
I mean, I know where Ramiz hails from. I think we'll just say like we are traveling from Valaki.
Sure.
He says, "Valaki." He says, "How is Valaki?" He says, "My son lives there."
Yes,
We know.
I believe that might be your son who brought us here. Valaki is sorely missing wine currently.
He kind of squints his eyes suspiciously at you, and he says, "There are evil druids and blights that have attacked the winery and forced our family to take refuge in the woods."
I am very sorry to hear. We came because Erwin asked us to investigate what might have held up the shipment.
He says, "Erwin, huh?" He says, "Well, it's just like him to not show up himself."
He was worried there might be danger, so he sent us in his stead. He cared very much.
And another one of the figures pipes up and he says, "Well, clearly there is danger." And he says, we must retreat back as to stay hidden. We will brief you in the woods." And he sort of like beckons to like kind of move back out of the clearing so that you guys are out of sight, so you can chat a bit more.
Hermes will follow their instruction.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do I get any impression that these guys are lying or anything like that?
You don't have any impressions that they're lying, but the father, who I don't remember if Erwin told you his name or not, but his name is Davian. He's definitely not thrilled to hear that his son Erwin sent you and didn't come himself.
Ah,
Wait, can I have rolled persuasion on my lie then?
A little late.
Well, So he didn't believe me or what?
No, it's not that he didn't believe you. He just didn't care. Like, he doesn't see, like, he thinks that if he cared, he would come. Yeah, essentially. All right, so they kind of get out of sight, and Davian introduces you to a few of the people, and he says, "These are my sons," and he points to the men, Adrian and Elvir. He points to a woman, and he says, "This is my daughter, Stephania." And another man sort of unveils his cloak and he says, "Dag." And also present are some children. And there are 4 kids, 4 pint-sized people. One of them is a teenager. 2 of them are younger boys, and one of them is a baby girl. And Stephania says, "Our children have had to take refuge in the forest here with us because our estate has been attacked." And she like cradles the young baby and like shushes her a little bit.
I think Ramis will drop to a single knee to get eye level with some of the children. Say, "Children, you are safe now." And he turns to his 3 traveling companions. "We have some of the most powerful adventurers in all of Barovia come to save you."
I want to flex right now.
And the 2 young boys who see you guys are like awestruck, like jaws, like, oh. The teenage boy kind of looks also suspicious.
Caution is a prudent virtue, my friend, but we will prove our worth in time. And then Remy stands up to address the father and says, "Tell us more of these druids."
Davian says, I don't know much of druids." I'm trying to do a grizzled man voice. I can do it.
That's pretty good.
"I don't know much of druids, but these ones are definitely evil." And he says, "The druids control blights, and they forced us out. Luckily, we were able to get our coats, but that's about it." He says, "There's plenty of wine inside of the winery, but I fear for the worst." And he says, "I think we need to get in there now and take back control."
Why would these druids be attacking your vineyard?
He says, he again like squints suspiciously at you. And he says, "Well, they are evil druids." He says, "I think that they want to poison the wine and proceed as usual.
But
I
why?
believe their plan is to poison the wine and send it out to poison the residents of Barovia."
Is this a hunch or has this happened before?
He says, "This has not happened before."
Very well. What can you tell us about the druids? How many were their number? How long ago did they come?
He says, "They arrived about a day and a half, 2 days ago, maybe." And he says, "They've stolen much wine from us already." And he says, "And they've proved to be more than a match for us." He says,
Do these guys look battle hardened?
"Not really, no." They don't look like incapable by any means, but they don't look like soldiers. They're not wearing armor, they're wearing coats. So, and they have a family, so it doesn't look like they're trying to really make a fight. Clearly they were outmatched by what came and attacked them a couple days ago. And Davian says, "They believe that this vineyard is magical. And I believe they have come to find the source of that magic.
And why is it called the Wizard of Wines if it is not magical?
He says, well, centuries ago, the Wizard of Wines was founded by a mage whose name is buried in the annals of history. I wouldn't even know it. He says, but the wizard fashioned some magical gems, each one as big as a pine cone, they say. And he planted them in the soil. Again, it's a story. And he says, the seeds helped to keep the grapevines healthy, which produced the sweetest, plumpest grapes. And even Strahd's curse couldn't succumb the grapes to darkness.
The wine of Barovia is quite good. Zug can attest to that.
He says, we ended up getting this winery because a while back, the Krezkovs, who were the owners of the winery, and the Martikovs, which is our family, were in an arranged marriage. And now we are the descendants of them, and it's our winery now. And he tells you, I don't know if all the magical stuff is true, but I do know that these druids have come to wreak havoc and could potentially send out spoiled wine across the land.
Where druids now?
Yeah.
He says, some of the druids are inside. So I don't know exactly how many there are, but probably around 6 or 7.
Holy shit.
Excellent.
And you have mentioned another enemy, the Blights. I have heard of such things. Can I history check for Ramis to see if he knows what Blights are?
Yeah, and pretty much anyone actually can do that.
Nice.
Is that history or?
Actually, not religion. Blight. Blight. I would take either history or religion, whichever one is higher for you.
All the same.
I happen to have a plus.
Just roll
in religion.
How is this possible?
I don't know. Roll the d20.
I'm gonna wait for you to go
That's a
ahead,
7.
Ramis. What the hell, dude?
His rolls are really bad today.
Well, I'm gonna ask him what he can tell us about Blights because he's mentioned it a few times.
He says, I don't know a lot about magical blights.
What have you seen? What have you experienced?
He says, they seem to be conjured.
Okay.
What did the rest of you roll?
19.
19.
Oh!
Well, I have a 25, but I rolled a 19.
Wow.
Everybody else roll for me.
So with a 19 and up, you know that it is typical of blights to be derived from a magical source, such as some magical source of power, like a wand. And if you could find and destroy such source, you would probably destroy the blights as well.
Shit, that's some good insight there.
Wow. I happen to know exactly where blights come from.
Ramis nods knowingly as if he knows as well.
Davian says, my 2 sons can travel with you. They know the inside of the estate very well.
Very
You should
well.
size up these 2 sons. Do they seem like they're not just going to die immediately?
They look very able to take care of themselves. Yeah. They look as capable as Ismark at a minimum.
Well, that's not saying much.
Ismark is capable, okay? You're just a name for Ismark.
If
Poor
we weren't
Ingvar.
paying attention to his mark, he'd fall on his own sword.
That is untrue.
We would be grateful for their company.
Adrian and Elver. Okay, so they nod, and they take up what they can. They don't have any weapons, but they do have a bottle of wine.
Can I
They
arm
can
one of
search.
them?
Arm?
Can I arm them both?
Do you have weapons?
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
What weapons you have
I have a
together?
rapier and a dagger.
Oh, I got a list of the shit that we've picked up, unless you picked up something different.
I just have these in my inventory. So I make a judgment call, and Ramis hands the more capable looking one a rapier and the other one a dagger.
Shouldn't you go the other way? Cool. So they take the weapons and yeah, they are willing and ready to fight for their estate. Adrian says there are 3 barrels in the loading dock. Yeah, he's Irish now.
Of course.
And he says, and there are also some barrels in the cellar. So there's still some more wine fermenting. So if we're able to handle this, we can get the wine to the town.
On the way through, did we see the vineyard, like the actual grapes and stuff?
Yeah, you can see the vineyard. Even from where you are now, you can see the vineyard.
How does everything look? Because they've been getting attacked, right?
They got attacked about 2 days ago, so nothing looks like really messed up in the vineyard.
Okay.
Are the druids like really like attacking them? Like
The
the
druids
farmhands?
pushed them out of the winery. The druids actually don't really seem to care about them. They are after the wine and the magic.
Okay.
So
I just
what-
have this assumption in my head that druids are, very in tune with nature, and they don't usually they're not eco-terrorists, So as much as I want to go in swinging,
I don't know, man. These might be some Greenpeace druids.
I don't. These guys don't sound like nice druids. They sound like winery abducting.
I
druids.
know, but we've only heard one side, and they're a little biased, right?
No. Like Ramis will always try and parlay. Don't worry, Josh.
Yeah. Try to parlay.
This man owns the winery and has been pushed out of his house by what he
Yeah.
is calling
So
evil.
naturally, he's angry, and anybody would be evil that did that.
Let's say Kane has 0 interest in parlaying and he's ready to go.
Ramis does not detect that about Kane.
All right, so if you guys want to head over, you can. You guys
Ramis, okay. Sorry, I'm so bad at it. Can you give us the lay of the land, like from where we are to the place the sounds are trying to take us, and
Yeah.
the surroundings?
So you guys are in the northern woods north of the trail, and to the south of you is pretty much an open span of lots of vineyards, and sitting almost in the center of those vineyards is a pretty large estate. And that is what you are after.
Ramis would like to turn to his traveling companions and say, we should think about our approach. If there are as many as he says, we are outnumbered or evenly matched at the very least.
Can we have somebody stealthy?
I was going to.
Sandra, you
I
want
can do
to
that.
sneak around, get the lay of the land here? Maybe find a good point of entrance or egress?
Would the Sons have any idea of that, or would it be better if I went off and investigated?
They know the lay of the estate, but they don't know what's lurking where inside.
Okay. Then can
But
I?
They know the lay of the land.
Okay. Can I stealth and investigate for the best point of entry?
Yes.
Ramis would like to offer to Sindra. I can move quietly myself. Would you like company, or shall I
Yeah.
remain with the rest of the party?
I think we have safety in numbers.
Okay.
Best to avoid a trap and at least stay in pairs.
So Ramis is going to try to follow the stealth mastery of Sindra.
Okay, so I'll have you roll a stealth check.
Fuck. Can I just take?
What were you expecting?
Can I inherit the role?
I got 15 for stealth.
18.
All right, there we go.
Okay. So as you guys approach the winery,
Does Ramis have dark vision?
I do.
Okay, and Sindra does too?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
situated in the midst of the vineyard, the winery is an old 2-story stone building, and it's got multiple entrances. There's a thick ivy covering every wall and iron fencing along the roof line. The trail that you're kind of taking to get there to the winery ends at an open loading dock on the ground floor. So you guys are heading south, and there's an open loading dock right there on the ground floor. And you can see in the loading dock, there's a barrel that's, like a wagon that's empty. There's a wooden stable of more recent construction that's attached to the east side of the winery. So looking at the winery, so you guys are basically like descending from the like south to, you're going south. So you're looking at the north side of the winery. So on the east side, which is to your left, is a stable. And in the stable, there are 2 horses that you can see. And west of the winery, aka to your right, is a crumbling well with a wooden outhouse. And as you start to reach the winery, you can hear some rustling of dead vines around you.
Yeah.
How close?
It's coming from all around you.
Okay, Ramis is gonna ready both of his weapons and like be on high alert.
Can I
Is it like closing in
send
on
the
us?
raven to like look over them too?
You can. There are also some ravens perched on the outside of the building that are looking down at you.
Perfect.
And as you start to approach, you're pretty quiet. You can start to hear a little bit of that rustling noise happening. And one of the ravens perched on top of the house starts to squawk. Very similarly to the way that that Cain encountered a squawking raven on the windmill.
All right, let's go back to the lackey.
Yep, let's go.
Wait, you mean at the tavern? You mean at the tavern?
No, do you remember
the
when you were
windmill. Oh, it was
observing
like a
the windmill
warning?
and there was a squawking raven?
It was a warning squawk?
Yeah, it kind of seems like a warning squawk.
Great.
Could I do either investigation or perception on the vine noises? If I can pick up on anything? Perception, maybe?
Well, with your role from before about knowing what blights are and how they're produced, these are blights like that are about to notice you.
Oh, good. If I realize,
but you also know that blights are like not super strong.
Okay.
But it sounds like there's a lot of them.
Fun. If I realized there were blights, I'd probably grab Ramis and try to pull him back to find a different way to approach it, or just go get the rest of our group, just in case. Is there any way to tell where the source is coming from?
The ground.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
You eating
Well-
shrimp chips?
He's been eating shrimp trips this
Ooh.
entire time.
Gross.
Would a magic user be able to more accurately figure out where the blights were coming from?
Yeah.
I can see through the eyes of the bird. Do I see anything?
You see exactly what they see.
Can he see me? Can I like motion, be like, get
Yeah,
over
he can
here?
see you. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I can
cool.
see.
I will beckon to Kane, who's hopefully watching from the other side.
Zug, it appears as though we may be needed here briefly.
And
I'm ready to sprint.
Adrian, with his rapier, also says, "There are barricades from inside." He says, "We could all go as a unit and barricade the doors."
Sounds like a good idea. I think if there are a whole bunch of these things outside, we could probably pick them off from windows or something. If we can
Aren't
get
the
past
druids
them.
inside?
Yes.
What the?
Well,
Sounds like the beginning of Resident Evil. Oh no,
But-
there's zombie dogs outside. Quick, run for that haunted mansion that definitely doesn't have anything bad in it.
I mean, a bunch of druids were enough to overrun a simple family of winemakers, but you guys might be able to take them.
We're gonna have to be able to take something at some point.
Wait, so
Yeah.
Zug
Sorry.
and Kane are coming.
Syndra and I, have we been spotted or anything? Or
No, Sindra motioned for Zug and Kane to join, and like they're just gonna go at it. And Adrian said that you could barricade the doors. So
but as soon as I
Um,
realized that the blights were around us, I would have like yanked you back and been like, let's back up for a minute till our peeps get here.
yeah, so the blights are coming from the natural ground. And so for those of you who do know a little bit about magic, you probably would be safer from a little bit safer from the blights inside.
are we
Is there like a porch?
more worried about the blights or the druids though?
Depends.
Yeah, we're not super stoked about either one.
Well, if we fight the blights outside, aren't we creating a ruckus and the druids are gonna come investigate?
Are the sources directly controlled by the druids? So like if we stop the druids, that would stop the power from the source, or
That's what she made it sound like earlier. So Syndra and I are like creeping through the vines right now, like through the actual. Okay.
And so as soon as you guys sort of get closer to the entrance, and as soon as Kane and Zug and Adrian and Elvir come into view, the rustling gets louder, and inhuman shapes begin to emerge from the vineyard, and their limbs are cracking, and they start to trudge towards you through the mist and rain.
yuck.
I'm not a fan of this.
And you see a group of 5 approaching from your west, from the west,
Mhm.
which is your right. And you see another group of 5 approaching from the east.
But so they have spotted Syndra and I then?
They've spotted the group.
Okay.
Oh,
Are we all together by this time? point?
You're starting to get together. The blights are about 120 feet away, and they're not walking super fast,
Okay.
but they are trudging towards you now. And you spot another group of 5 coming from your north.
Jeez, there's a lot of them.
We can either fall back and take them farther from the house, or rush the house, barricade them out, and deal with any druids that come.
Let's rush the house.
And I'm thinking rush the house too.
And suddenly 2 more groups of 5 emerge from where you came from, blocking your path out.
Wait, how many of them are there now?
There are now 25.
25.
Oh my god. Okay. These guys, hopefully they are just made out of paper mache.
Mhm.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, but we still only get like 1 attack.
Wait,
I have
so
some AoE.
we have a clear path to the house, though, right?
You do. They're starting to swarm in from the sides, and you guys have a straight path to get to
Yeah,
the
we're
house.
going to the house.
Yeah.
So as we
Um,
rush towards the house, what side of the house? Is it the back?
It's the north side of the house that you're running in. And Adrian says, quick, we can go through the loading dock.
Okay, so it's like loading dock, which would be like kind of the back side of the house. It's not the main.
It's the
entrance.
north side of the house. It's not the main entrance to the house, but the loading dock has an open cavern. So Adrian sort of leads you guys into the loading dock area. And parked in the loading dock, there's a wagon with some barrels that are nearby, but not loaded into the bed yet. And there's some raised wooden walkways along the walls. There's also a hole in the ceiling, and you can see the wooden arm of a loading crane with some ropes and hooks dangling from it up above. And there's a door that is hanging ajar, and it looks like it's been forced open. It doesn't look like you're going to be able to close it, but you could probably barricade it. So Adrian runs towards that door, the south door, and runs up the ramp on the side of the wall, and goes into the slightly ajar door and beckons you all in. And he grabs a wooden beam hanging behind the door and sticks it into the middle of the crevice and starts to barricade and load the door to keep you guys inside.
Nice.
Cool. And you guys are inside the winery now with all of the things that might be in here.
So what do we see on the other side of this now barricaded door?
Yeah. So as you get in, you're inside of this narrow hallway, and you see straight ahead of you, there is a ramp that looks like it's curving. And based off of your guys' like knowledge and approximations, you can guess that wine barrels get rolled up this ramp so that they can be loaded from the dock. That would make sense, right? So there's a ramp right there that's right in front of you. And to your right, there is a long cavern that the doors also are slightly ajar. And in the cavern, you can see, well, before you even see, you actually smell the rich smell of fermenting wine. And as you look into this long cavern to your right, there's a large 2-story chamber. So it spans the floor that you're on, the ground floor, and kind of the second floor as well. And there's 4 enormous wooden casks. Each one is about like 8 feet wide and 12 feet tall. So they're really big. And there's a wooden staircase right in the center of the room that climbs up to a balcony. And the balcony has these little like alcoves for each one of those 4 big barrels. It looks like that's where people tend to the wine. And stacked against the wall underneath the balcony are some old empty barrels with blazoned logos of the Wizard of Wines. And yeah, so beneath the, so the balcony climbs up another 5 feet as it continues along the walls, and there are doors that lead all the way up to the winery's like top upper level. And underneath the balconies, there's some doors that are hanging open, and there beneath the roof of the balcony, there's some thick rafters, and there are ravens that are sitting there and watching you. And if you notice the ravens, they are watching you very intently with great interest.
Oh boy.
There's 4 swarms of raven perched on the rafters, and they are just looking at you.
But they haven't attacked or anything?
No, they're not looking to attack you, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
And suddenly the balcony creaks, drawing your eyes up to a wild-looking figure hunched over the westernmost cask, which is actually the one that is farthest from you. So it's the one that's like all the way to the end of the building. And you guys look up and you see this figure, and it is pouring a flask of thick syrup into the westernmost cask. And she's wearing a gown made of animal skins, and she's wearing a headdress with goat horns, and her hair is long and unkempt.
It's a druid poisoning wine.
Has she noticed us?
Not yet, but suddenly you
Sneak
see
attack.
something skitter across the floor that looks like a tiny creature made of twigs.
Oh, fuck.
And it moves from its hiding place under the stairs, and it disappears behind the easternmost cask, which is the one that's actually closest to you. So she has actually not noticed you yet.
We need to stop her.
Well, we
what-
figure the damage is already done to all this wine, so.
I could try to shoot her with my crossbow.
You're just gonna open fire.
Well,
you
I mean, she's
sneak
pouring
up?
poison into that wine. Has she already like poured it, or is she getting ready to pour it?
She is pouring it.
Yeah.
I think we can
Into-
assume. I think
So
we
She
can.
is in process of pouring. The syrup
Okay,
is
thanks.
going in.
I think we can assume all the wine is fucked,
Yeah.
but we still want to fuck her up. What
Well-
do I know anything about druids slash
Do
blight?
you know anything about druids? That's a good question. Roll me a knowledge, history, religion.
Okay.
Could I?
Oh boy,
9.
24.
Jesus.
Could I also roll religion? Because if I'm a wood elf, I feel like they're woodsy peeps.
Yeah, you guys both are in woods.
Good justification.
Yeah, right. 16.
Okay, so you all know that druids live in forests and other secluded, like wilderness type locations. They are meant to protect the natural world from monsters and from the encroachment of civilization. Some druids are tribal shamans who heal the sick and provide spiritual guidance. These druids do not seem to be providing spiritual guidance.
I think Ramis would like to resume his stealth.
Do I know anything about druids with a 24 that is a little better than that?
They can shapeshift.
Oh.
Gross.
I say we stop her now.
Kane pulls out his crossbow.
Can't we like stealth up to her? That's one druid out of how many? They could
Yeah.
all be like, I don't
Yeah.
know, shapeshifted into squirrels.
I
or
agree.
Ravens.
See if we can get close with some stealth.
Yeah, Ramis
Yeah.
has been.
I will stay here because I have disadvantage in stealth, and I will fail.
At least you know that of yourself, Zug.
Mhm.
My
Zug's
stealth
very
roll
wise.
was 15 plus 17.
I will stealth too. Oh no! Critical fail. But a total of 7.
14.
You can. You're fighting with me, Sintra. While the others. go
Luckily for you guys, she is not looking for people who are entering, and she's not looking for you. So if you meet a pretty low armor class, she won't actually see you if you try to avoid her.
So do we have eyes on this whole area? Like, can we see the entire, or is she like through a
So
doorway or something?
again, like the room is really large and tall and open. There's 4 really big wooden casks, and then there's the balcony. So there's like a wooden staircase right in the middle of this big room, and the wooden staircase goes up to a balcony. And on the balcony, there are like 4 little alcoves for each of the casks that you can sort of go over to tend to the casks. And she's on the farthest most one from where you're standing.
So
And-
she's above us.
She's above you, yes, by about like 10 feet.
And below us are there,
There's
Are
nothing
there-
below you that you can tell.
well,
Like
on
you're on
our
the ground
level.
floor.
On our level, are there like doorways and stuff like that?
Yes, there's plenty of doorways that lead to supposedly various areas of the winery.
And the only way up to her is like advancing up the staircase.
The staircase
Through her.
appears to be the only way to get to where she's at right now.
I guess.
And
Okay.
Adrian says we could make our way up the ramp and see if we could get on her level.
Keep your voice down.
He's not yelling.
I'm kind of weary about the little thing made of maybe sticks that's skittered. Did you say it went under the stairs?
It went under the cask that's closest to you.
Could I investigate it?
Yes.
And just
Quietly.
see what it is?
It's definitely a blight.
It's definitely a blight.
1,000% it's a blight.
Yeah, so as you get in there into the general vicinity, the blight lunges out from underneath the cask and like jumps onto your body.
Gross.
And it lets out like a teeny like screech. It's kind of like an angry looking little baby Groot.
Oh.
And it goes and it it runs up and it jumps onto you, and it starts to attack you. And you notice right then and there that the easternmost cask, which is the one that it went and hid underneath, has split in the back, and there's about a 6-inch wide opening that little teeny tiny blight creatures can pass through. And
Wait, what? There's an opening?
in the cask, yeah.
Oh God.
Crap. Okay.
And as soon as the one notices you and attacks you, 20 or so more tiny blights pour out of the opening in the cask and start running at you.
Burn the cask. Set
Damn.
that shit on fire.
And the druid turns and takes notice of your presence.
At this point, Ramis would like to actually try to yell at the druid.
Okay, there's way too many of these stick monster things. We got to go to the source.
Yeah, exactly. So Ramis yells at her, "Druid, we come to speak. Call off your blights."
And you see her like disappear from the balcony rafter. She like runs backwards and runs down the other side. There actually is a staircase on the westernmost side, which is where she's at. And she like heads down that way and like disappears out of vision for a moment.
Are we rolling initiative?
Not yet.
And
your trousers.
and where are you guys all at while Sindra is experiencing a tiny twig
That's what I'm
monster
saying. It's like it's
jumping at her face.
if we're rolling initiative, I think
It depends on where you guys are all at right now.
I think Ramiz would
I'm
be
going
running-
after this druid.
Yeah, Ramiz would be running upwards.
Yeah.
Is he gonna leave Sindra?
Well, to get some high ground to like
Sindra
do something about it.
is a strong, confident,
I-
independent woman.
I can stay with Singra and start smashing.
Thank you,
Thank
Zug.
Oh,
Are
God.
the little creatures like biting at me at all, or are they
Um,
attacking me?
so as the druid sort of disappears out of view and the blights start to run at you, and everyone starts to take notice of what's going on,
Hmm.
now you will roll initiative.
Okay.
Okay.
4. I ain't ready.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh, no.
boy.
Wait, we're rolling initiative.
Mhm.
Yep.
9. I don't know what is up with these dice.
It's 16.
13.
13, you rolled 16
Mhm.
total.
Yeah.
So both the blights and the druid get to go before all of you.
Great.
Great.
They rolled
cool.
really high.
No.
So the druid actually goes first, and she casts a spell on herself. And I will take a Arcana roll from anyone who can see her. Not Sindra. Sindra is preoccupied. Kane and Ramiz and Zug.
It's a 21.
Ooh.
18.
Okay.
-1.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously. So the two of you recognize the spell that she's casting, and it looks like an armor spell.
A what?
Armor.
Armor.
Some mage armor dog.
Some
Or some
mage.
bark
armor.
skin or some shit.
It's bark skin. Yeah. Yep. So she now has casted bark skin on herself, which you guys would know is going to increase how hard it is to hit her by a lot. And then the blights are going to all at once swarm and attack poor Sindra. So Sindra, what is your armor class?
Let me see. 15.
Oh wow, they hit 15 meter beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they do hit you. Right.
Mhm.
All of them?
At once?
I'm going to put them in groups
Jesus.
because I think that's what I should do. Oh, I also forgot to roll one more time. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, what about our allies?
Hold up.
Yeah, I have to roll for them
Yeah,
too.
what were their initiative rolls?
Well, so this one's for something else.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Elvia rolled a 1.
Jesus.
Yeah, but Adrian rolled a 12. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Adrian was able to roll a 12, luckily. Elvira unfortunately rolled a nat 1.
Can
and
I?
yeah.
It's been a while since I've looked at my attacks. I'm like,
yeah,
wait, I can do something.
Don't worry about it. Because we
Okay.
are going to end really, really soon here. But one thing is, we're going to actually end this session in just a sec, pretty soon, right at the start of combat.
That's a good place.
But
Until next time, and I have like my axe and like.
before we end for our session, can I get everybody's initiative so I can write them down?
Oh, I don't remember.
4.
I rolled that forever ago.
You didn't write it down?
No.
Zug rolled a 4.
4.
13.
I was 16.
Mine was like a 9. It was something absurdly low.
Okay. Syndra's was 16.
Yep.
Okay. And yours was like a 9. Okay. And what was Kane?
13.
Okay.
26.
13. Okay. And great. Okay, I have everybody's order here. And I need to see. Nice. Okay. So before the twigs actually are able to attack Syndra, one of the swarms of ravens darts down and takes a giant like pecking bite at the little twig guys that are there. And
Good guy,
each
ravens.
of the swarms of ravens descends from the rafter and they begin to attack the blights.
Oh my God, we're in the
And
middle of a battle.
each one of these swarms of ravens is able to tear apart one of the twig blights. So 4 of them die before they're actually able to attack you. Yeah. Go Ravens.
Better than it was looking.
Yeah, a little bit. And yeah, so now there are about 20 left of these little tiny twigs. They are small, but you know, in big swarms, they're kind of like icky and weird. And the blights are going to attack the shit out of Syndra next time on Curse of Strahd. Oh man.
Oh shit.
You got it,
boy.
Sandra.
All right.
Yes, they will. Next time.